Hey, awesome people, welcome back to season 2 of Her Voice podcast series. I'm Chetana, your host, a mother of two amazing kids. This podcast was born from a deep desire to give a platform to all the amazing women out there who have stories to share. Those little inner voices that often go unheard. Those stories that are filled with successes, craziness, memories, joy, pain, challenges, and everything in between. This is a space for voices that deserve to be heard, for experiences that deserve to be shared, and for the strength that connects us all. Season 2 is incredibly special to me because this season is dedicated to my journey. Tim taught me the meaning of unconditional love, loyalty, the importance of living in the moment, and many more things. In his honor, this season will be a celebration of those lessons blended through the voices of women who have faced their own challenges, joys, and journeys. So let's dive in and listen to these beautiful voices together. Welcome to season 2 of Her Voice. So, welcome, Devi. Welcome to Her Voice podcast series. First of all, thanks for accepting my invite and willing to share your journey to my audience. And I'm really truly grateful for all the people, those who are willing to be a part of my journey of this Her Voice. This is a platform for all the women who want to share their story. So, to begin with, I just want to know who is Devi.
Thank you so much, Chetna, for having me here. An absolute pleasure knowing you personally as well as professionally. So, who is Devi is something which is very simple question but very difficult at the same time because we often define ourselves with kind of what we have achieved in our life, who we have become, and who we want to be recognized as once we leave this world. So, I think Devi is that little girl from a small town from Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, who had dreams. Her parents took a chance on her and her brother that who believed that education is the most powerful thing. And she had taken that very seriously, I can say that. I never let circumstances define my future. I always was capable of dreaming beyond that, and major credit goes to my parents. And whatever I am today is because of them. So that goes without saying. And I'm extremely thankful that a lot of hardships they had gone through to educate me and my brother. They had to work overtime, especially my father. For months, I couldn't see him because even to meet the monthly fees of the school, he had to work extra time. And those were sacrificing the holidays or festivals because you would get double pay in railways. So that made me a humble person. And I see every person beyond their titles and who they are, and treat everybody with same respect, whether he or she is my help or VP of an organization. So I would be remembered as person, a Devi who sees people beyond their titles. So that is Devi for you.
So beautiful, Devi, because I think the kind of gratitude which you have for your parents, especially the father, which you're seeing through that face, and as a kid, you remember each of those things why your father has worked so hard. The words what you're speaking, it's not coming just like that. I can read through that because, as you told, circumstances has never defined you. And
Yeah.
I just want you to elaborate on that aspect. What made you more strong when you tell that circumstances has never defined you? Or any example you can share where you felt that you have taken the decision which was right for you, not depending upon the circumstances.
I think education played a very important role, and my mother always, like, either in a fun way or like more like motherly way, would always point that out. For example, if we have to do dishes at home, and I say that Amma, I do not like doing dishes, so she said, okay, study well, get a help. So it will be a funnier way of saying it, but at every aspect of our life, she will bring that topic, that how important it is to be educated in life. there were many instances in my life which defined or kind of gave me a way to who I am today. But I cannot say that one particular instance, because I have been always like, what is that we can do better in my life? So I'll tell you something about, again, my mother, of course, all the time, because she always believed that she couldn't achieve, or if she was more educated, if she had more opportunities, she would have been maybe a professor in college or a school teacher. She really wanted to do that. So my first dream started with that, that I want to be a school teacher. Okay. And during summer vacations, I took up this job at, I think the company name was Data Pro, where I had to door, talk about computer courses, selling computer courses. So, as a kid who was just out of school, I was really fascinated that I'll make people buy the courses, I'll get incentives for that. So, that's how I was introduced to the concept of sales. Until then, I did not know that sales is something I like, and that really defined, and that zeal or that passion for sales I have even till today, 2 decades into the sales organization or being into sales profile, because that chases me. I always feel that this is one profession where everything is black and white. So you do your numbers, you achieve, and then you get where you want to go. I felt it is very straightforward, and this is something where I would like to thrive. So you do good and you get money for that. So as a young kid in teenagers, I think that's what kind of made me move towards in this direction when you talk about career. So yeah, that was one of the defining career decisions I have taken.
As you told, like your initial career started with door to door selling the courses. How did you handle the rejections? I know that everybody whom you knocked the door wouldn't have accepted your courses, right? So how did you went through that rejection phase?
That's a very beautiful question because it helps me also to reflect. So, when I was doing that summer intern job, the best thing was I wasn't seeing any kind of rejection as a rejection. I was seeing that as a child who is getting this challenge that this person is not interested. So, doing little more effort that what can we do to make him or her understand that this is a good thing, because computers were just picking up at that time, and move on to next. So that also helped me to realize where you need to put the right effort. So identifying the right prospect. So I was seeing that as a challenge, but in a very good way. I had, luckily or unluckily, I had very less rejections in the starting of my career, and maybe a lot of confidence that I can get through this. So maybe because of that, I had less rejections.
Okay, got it. So, when it comes to sales, I think we can just go on and on. So, very few get into the sales. How did you choose that?
So, as I said, it was not more of a choice. I'm one of the most laziest people, if you ask me. So, until and unless you do not give me a tough thing to do, I will not be interested to do that. So it was the summer vacation where one of my friends, school friends, comes to my home and she tells my mom that she has got a job. And I think she was getting 3,000 or 4,000 a month. And my mom was like, she sits at home whole day, just give her also some job. So that's how it happened. So I took up this job. And since the counselor job was already taken, I was going door to door and trying to sell the courses. So that was the introduction to the sales career. And to be honest, I wasn't liking it much after some time, because after 3 years, I felt that, is this what I'm always going to do? So you do door to door and then you become a counselor. What next? So MBA was in hype that time, and I really wanted to study further, but we didn't had sufficient money to fund my education. So again, my sales job came into the rescue. So I took up a part-time job at a company which was offering a MAT and CAT entrance exam preparations. Interestingly, after my campus placement at PepsiCo, I got a job at Naukri.com, which was again into sales. So I wanted to move or shift towards HR, because anything to do where interaction with the people is involved, because I love talking and meeting new people. Then again, sales happened and I just kept moving, just kept growing, because it was, as I said, it was straightforward. And one thing which I could have done differently, where I should have trusted myself more. So I would always chase these logos, like want to work for big logos, but sometimes I would compromise on the role. So for the women who are listening this, I think one most important aspect of ourselves we should always remember is that we shouldn't doubt ourselves and we shouldn't compromise as well. We are capable enough what we wish to achieve, and we should have that determination. And if good roles or good opportunities are not coming by, we should wait instead of taking what is there on the table. This is a very big learning which I have learned with my own mistakes.
How do they change the situations? So what is
Yeah.
that one or two things they can do at the initial years of their career?
Yeah. I think compared to when we started our career to today, we have lot and lot of opportunities, and the world is not the same. It is more receptive, I would say. Upskilling is really important, irrespective of which career path you choose. It is very important that, because one day or the other, let's say 10 years or 15 years down the lane in your career, you have to become a leader because you have to go with the flow and you have to help people come up, right? So start building those leadership skills and communication skills early on. So even if you change your path like 5 years or 10 years, it will help. So I think that is very important takeaway, and it should start early, because so more you do it and you become expert in that. So starting early really helps. And this is non-negotiable, the leadership skills and the communication skills.
How does authenticity add to this particular two skills? I know these are external skills, but how authentic you should be in whichever career you are, and to become a leader, what is that importance level, or how it has worked for you?
It is 100% actually. Because if you're not authentic, you can or you will get a short term success, but it will be short term for sure. Because whatever we get by faking it or just being what we are not in reality, we cannot be that. It's not sustainable. So being our authentic self as well as improvising. So for example, if I know that I have certain skill sets which are good enough to become a middle level manager, no, what is the gap that I have? So I'm going to build on that. At the same time, if I want to become a leader, I just cannot think only about myself. I also need to see what is the circle around me who can either grow with me or I can help them to grow along the way. Because leadership is not about title, it is about what you help people to become, whether you are a leader or not. And eventually you will get that title. So if the people around you are not seeing that skill in you, and if you're not authentic enough, then it is not going to help you. So you cannot be a leader by not being authentic. So you have to be authentic to become a long term leader. And listening is one of such very important skills. So you have to be an authentic listener as well if you want to be a good leader.
Very beautiful, Devi. Like as you told, this is a very strong point, probably to all the listeners who are in the journey of becoming a leader. So, in this journey, as you have been telling, what are the challenges which you faced professionally or personally during that phases of hurdles? How did you overcome that phases?
Yeah, I think a lot of challenges, if you ask me. One is the personal, like how I see myself compared to the people around me who are better than me, and then the real time challenges which are external. So let me talk about my personal hurdles, like me as a person. So from the small town, so I was very happy that I did really well in my scores, and then I came to Bangalore. Here it is like ocean of talent, right? People from all over the country come and they are best in what they do. So somewhere I think I started doubting myself. And instead of taking that doubt center stage, what I did is I got into the books. So I would spend a lot of time in the library and do a lot of reading, which is again a great thing, because if you have any doubt, someone else had already crossed that path and would have written something about it. And reading really helps. So whenever there was a self doubt, I would read. I do a lot of reading about women or people who have crossed that path, and it helped me immensely. And again, coming from a small town, even though I studied in English medium, I had a doubt in speaking, that whether I'm speaking well or not. I'm not 100% perfect, but I wasn't great then. So I would work on that as well, because when you speak well, that also brings in confidence. Dressing up is extremely important. Sometimes we think we just no need to be presentable, but that also plays a very important role, because overall brand that you're creating for yourself. So I had to work on myself, that and a lot of people helped. This was not something which I did by myself. So my manager, my senior colleague, I would like to call out their name, Shri and Meenu from Naukri.com. They really helped me to kind of groom myself. I'll come to the office as if I'm going to the college, right? So a lot of credit goes to them. Now the external factors which are not in our control. So when I was just doing about to come to Bangalore for my MBA, my dad met with an accident, and we spent a lot of months taking care of him. So I had to really take a call that whether I should pursue my education or stay back. And when these kind of situations happen in your life, the support system that you build around yourself, and I'm really, really lucky to have amazing friends. So anything happens, I have this strong ecosystem of friends who are there to help me. My friends who are doctors, who are locally present, my own brother who took care of that. So you cannot be there all the time and everywhere. So that is something you need to accept as a woman. We want to be there for everybody, and in that process we sometimes neglect our own career, and we also judge and feel guilty about it, whether someone is saying it or not. So we have to really decide what we want to do. Let's say we choose a career that we want to go ahead in our career. There need to be some sacrifices which you need to do in your personal life. But what are the arrangements you are going to do for that? And that should be taken care of. It's not same for men. This is something which applies for women. And the setback that I had in my personal life. So I'm ardent pet lover. I have dogs. So I had this milestone that I want to go to President Club in that particular year. And my elder pet Pluto was struggling with life. And it was really difficult because it was very emotional. I was very attached to him. So I will be in veterinary hospital. We spoke to the doctor, and I said that I will be working from your hospital. So I will be sitting next to Pluto's kennel, and I will be working from there. So it's not easy. Success or whatever milestones we want to achieve, we have to make these sacrifices, or we need to have this balance always. But one important thing, because once he passed away, I realized that the materialistic things are really good to have, and it can be something we should be chasing, but it's not important than what is really important for us, which is our family. So I like what I have become today. I'm proud of myself. But what is that I'm going to do to give back to the society? So if you're successful in your life, it is very, very important that we do something for the society as well. So that is something changed. So that challenge taught me that. So something I'm working upon. Maybe we will discuss some other time once it becomes a reality.
Okay, okay, it was so much. Let me process it. What what you told just now. There were so many aspects, like things which was popping up. I wanted to cut you off and ask questions there only, but I wanted you to complete it. See, being
Okay.
a woman, I myself have gone through a lot of ups and downs, but we always play that guilt game. We
Yeah.
know that it's our responsibility, but when we are not able to do, we take that guilt and we carry it for years together. And
Yeah.
so this guilt game plays a lot. And as you told, nothing is as important as we realize that only when we lose someone. It was two
Yeah.
powerful messages what you gave, Devi. Thanks for sharing this. And okay, how do we work on the guilt part of it? As you told, you got an opportunity to make the arrangements and ensure that the things are taken care. But there are many
Yeah.
women out there who will not be able to get that kind of support or that kind of financial aid to make the arrangements. How can these people pass through this sort of challenges?
Yeah. So talking about the support system, Chetana, it had nothing to do with the financial condition because I was still a student and I was on education loan. So I would highly, highly recommend all the women to focus on networking, because that is another aspect which we miss. So all these people who supported me are from the different organizations I worked, or my school friends whom I'm in touch with. And again, what you asked me, authentic. So when you're an authentic human being, people will come forward to help you. So networking is the key in these scenarios. And talking about financial situation, I think we need to be very strong when it comes to finances. Have that segregations done for emergencies and expenses. I really don't need to touch that point, but that is again something we neglect. We feel that let's just go with the flow or have one joint savings, etc. But we need to have something aside for ourselves also to take care of our parents when needed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as you told, having the genuine network when we need it is very important aspect. And of course, personal financial planning is very important. And emergency fund, as you told, see, we all get to learn only when we pass through some sort of situations. That a realization will happen when we do that mistake. So, how do you balance empathy with performance in leadership?
Oh, that's very difficult in sales. So again, if you are not empathetic and so it really get tested, let me put it that way, if I'm very honest with you here. So in sales it is about numbers, how much you will do this quarter and how you will deliver it. And you will have this combination of people, right, who are really driven. They are in sales because they want to be in sales, and then who are in sales because of various other reasons, they wanted to be somewhere else, etc. And it's a very genuine situation. So bringing them all together to achieve the goals that has been set as a team and into channel sales is becomes challenging because they are also not part of your ecosystem. So what exactly happens is like you have to focus on the performance, at the same time be very empathetic towards to their situation and accepting that what is your goal may not be necessarily their goal. So for some people you focus and talk to them about short term goals. For some people who are really driven and have long term goals, you tell them that the bigger picture. So you have to play the cards really well. At the same time, see that how it is beneficial for them. And once they see that you are thinking about them and not just for yourself, results will fall in place. And trust me, it gets tested every quarter.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's very tough when it is in sales and empathy are the words which is not spoken much in the sales. Like how well you are prepared to balance it depends on you in the individual. Okay, and now I just want you to share what would be your piece of advice to all the youngsters who are entering into workforce. So, what is that they should come prepared?
I think first and foremost for our women, I think I'm hoping that I don't see that in younger generation is please throw that self-doubt out of the window. We are really hardworking folks, and it is just that self-doubt or it's the mindset. We are capable of achieving what we wish to achieve. Keep that goal in mind and keep going forward. There will be challenges, and also we shouldn't be competing with men. Even if you are in the same family, the situations and circumstances, what they will have and what you will have for the same role in a job is going to be different. So once you accept it and instead of fighting, go with the flow and make your own path. We don't have to prove ourselves to anybody. We just need to focus on our goals and achieve them.
Beautiful message. So, baby, what is one of the proudest moment of your life?
Okay. I think I have taken it for granted now, but when I look back, there were situations where sometimes we will not have money to buy the food also at home, right? As I was mentioning, we had a very difficult life. So, but when now my mom calls or my dad never asked me anything, but she calls and she says that I want something, that financial freedom of saying yes, that you ask whatever you want and I can give. So I think that is my proudest moment. And it makes me emotional every time I talk about it, that whatever my parents want, with God's grace, of course, that I have earned enough to give back. So I think that's my proudest.
Yeah, I think now that you told, I am just realizing that now 10 minutes we get everything at our place.
So I think when you're sharing that, it just reminds me of. So my mom is like full of life. Okay, see, she has never seen life through the problems she had. She'll be always happy, and we love to gossip on funny things, on news readers and whatnot. So I think I was working in Naukri.com and I was saving money for her. And I asked her, what you want? So she said that I never had diamond and I want a diamond nose thing. So I bought it for her. And when I gave her, and she was so happy, she wore it immediately. And I think that's my proudest moment, when she was expressive like a child and she was very happy that her daughter got it for her. So these are the small joys. I think money is one of the factors, but that joy which we are able to bring on their faces or take care of them during medical emergencies and all that, I think it just we are lucky that we are able to take care of them.
So, Devi, what is that message you would like to give to all the women who are stuck, who feel that they are unheard? And as I was just sharing with you in the morning, there might be so many situations in life which they feel that the other person would have expressed, said thank you, but they don't tell, but they don't receive it either. And they feel that they are unheard, they are not valued much. So, what is that message you would like to give to those listeners who are there in that situation?
I was that person before. And when I say that, for me, it was extremely important what people think of me and whether they are recognizing my work or not. But when I uplifted myself over and above that, I was a completely different person. And what I would like to tell all the listeners listening to us today is there will be always some set of people who will doubt you, who will not be thankful, and who will make you feel that you're stuck. So, this is something which you should be able to analyze that are you really stuck in your current situation? And can you really do something about it or not? And based on that, make a chart. And if you can do something about it, what is it? And when I should take an action. So, it is not the external people or external factors defining that. So, if you really feel that you are stuck or you're unheard, is it the right place to be? Do you really want to be there? And if you want to be there, what you should be doing about it? So we need to use right decision, tactfulness, and take right decisions and move forward. And if that is not the right place, today opportunities are ample. Move to a different company, move to a different place, different role. We do not need to adjust or compromise.
But Devi, see, this is with respect to the work environment. So what if they face, because most of the challenges comes from the loved ones. When they get into that situation, it will be not so easy for us to take a decision and move out. And it will be not so easy to tell them on their face. How would they pass through this?
So that again zeroes down to who we are as women. So we do not want to hurt anybody. And even if it is at the cost of our own sanity and peace, right? So it is not easy. You have very rightly pointed out that it's not easy to come out of a relationship which is toxic, or it is not easy to take a stand for ourselves. So again, if it is getting really difficult, seek for help. It can be your family or it can be your friends. Or if you think that it is something which you can navigate through, then try to find your own space, your own world. It cannot be exactly what you want to. Let's say you want to become a VP of the company, but you're not getting a support at home. So, can I start something on your own? So, do not kill your dreams, but what is there at hand and how you can navigate to become your better version and achieve those goals. So, change your goals if needed, but never give up on yourself. It is very easy to say, it's very difficult to implement, but I think seeking help and having the right set of people who really understand your situation with whom you can share, because end of the day, it's us who need to fight that battle. Nobody else will be fighting on behalf of us. So choosing it wisely and taking the right decisions so is really important.
So, with that, I just also want you to share your routine because how that has helped you.
Oh, they help immensely actually.
Okay,
So
first I think you can tell what do you do, and then I think you can just share like how it has helped.
sure, I think bringing in consistency had helped really big way. And during the COVID days, I had read one book called Atomic Habits, which talks about process. And when I stick to the concepts of that book, a lot of routines fell into place. So one of the biggest routine that I do is getting up early in the morning and going for a walk. So after that, I read my mails. So instead of doing the things exactly at the time they're supposed to do a day in advance. So that is the thing which I have brought into my work and it is helping me. So not all the days are great days, but there are some days which I'm not able to follow. So first and foremost thing is getting up on time early morning. So I get up between 5 to 6 in the morning, go for a 1 hour walk, do my yoga, and then start my work. So that sets the tempo for the entire day. So helps me to take the challenges also in a positive way. One thing which I'm not able to do on time and I don't want listeners to follow is not able to eat my lunch on time. So I think eating food on time, sleeping on time. So I try to do that on routine because sales is very challenging and it is off routine always. So when I do this on time, my health is on track and then rest of the things fall in place. So yeah, taking care of myself is on routine for sure.
So, what is your definition of self care and self love?
Yeah, so self-care is like taking care of the health, trying to eat as healthy as much as possible with my own cheat days. Of course, I love sweets. So whenever I can like sneak into good Indian sweet, I do not hesitate from that. So eating healthy as much as possible and try to fast at least once in a week to kind of take care of the toxins of the body. And walking daily, I walk 10,000 steps daily, non negotiable. Yoga was off track, so I've started yoga again, so that also takes care of my stress levels. Self love, I love to write, I love to paint. So, whatever makes me happy, I try to do that whenever time permits.
That's really good thing, like when you told painting, and I think you'll have enough time to play with your pets. So
Yes,
that itself is a deep relaxation for you.
yes, yes.
Thank you, Devi. I think one final quote or anything if you want to say it. So before we wind up, or an affirmation or if anything which they can use on a daily basis.
I I think one of the mirror activities that I always do is that I I see in the mirror and I tell myself I got this and I'm going to outshine. So I say it loud before any important meeting or any important internal task that I have at workplace. So that helped me. I hope it helps others too if they try.
Yeah. So thank you, Devi. Thank you for giving your time and sharing your beautiful journey and also a lot of inputs with respect to I think so many where places you have put across in the way where everything is doable. So though it is challenge, but how smoothly you have passed through the phases. So thank you for sharing and being a part of this journey.
Absolute pleasure, Chetna. Thank you so much for having me. And wishing you all the best and wishing all the listeners also a very like a great year end actually because we are at the December and I think they can look back and the goals that they want to set for New Year. So all the best to all the listeners.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into Her Voice podcast. I'm Chetna, and it's been an absolute joy to bring you the incredible stories and voices of women from all walks of life. Remember, every voice matters, every story counts, and by sharing, we lift each other up. Until next time, keep listening, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep believing in the power of your own voice. Take care and see you in the next episode.